Mixed numbers. What are they? Well, what are they? Numbers consisting of an integer and a proper fraction. Why? To better understand numbers in general. Interesting fact. A clan of meerkats will always have one sentry on guard to watch out for predators while the others forage for food. What are mixed numbers? Let's take a look at the steps. Step 1, draw the shapes you need, look at the whole number, and draw another for the fraction. Step 2, divide the shapes into equal parts by looking at the denominator. Step 3, shade the shapes in equal parts in the last shape by looking at the numerator. So let's take a look at the example 1 and 2/3. We're going to draw two equal shapes. In this particular circumstance, we're drawing circles. You can draw any other shape you want as long as they're equal. Y2, 1 for the whole number and 1 for the fraction. And now we're going to divide it into equal parts and 3 in this case because of 3 in the denominator of the fraction 2/3. Now we're going to go ahead and start shading. We're going to shade one whole one because of the whole number 1. And now we're going to shade two parts because of the fraction 2/3. Now we're going to go ahead and change the shaded parts of the last circle into a fraction so it'll be easier to write on the number line. And now we can go ahead and start at 1 because of the whole number. And now we're going to count by thirds. So 1/3 and 2/3. And there we go. And that's where 1 and 2/3 is. Now you may be wondering, can we rewrite the mixed number as something else? Yes, we can. We can write it as an improper fraction. And in this case, it is 5/3. You may be asking, where did we get 5? Well, we can count the number of equal parts that have been shaded. And as you can see on the screen, there are 5 equal parts. Okay, now let's see if it's the same on the number line. So let's go ahead and start at 0, and let's count by thirds. So we have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, which is the same as 1, 4/3, and 5/3. As you can see, 5/3 is the same thing as 1 and 2/3. So let's take a look at example 2. We have 2 and 3/4. So let's go ahead and draw this particular circumstance, 3 rectangles. Once again, you can draw whatever you want. And now we're going to go ahead and separate it into 4. Why 4? Because of the numerator, which is 4. Now we're going to go ahead and shade the first 2 because of the whole number 2. And now we're going to shade 3 of the 4 because of the numerator in the fraction 3/4. So now we're going to go ahead and change that into fractions so we can put it on the number line. So we're going to go ahead and get started at 2 because of the whole number in the mixed number 2 and 3/4. And now we're going to count by fourths. So 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. So as you can see, that is where 2 and 3/4 goes on the number line. And we can rewrite 2 and 3/4 as 11/4. Now how do we get that? Well, we can count how many equal parts that have been shaded. As you can see, there are 11 parts that have been shaded, which gives me 11/4. Now let's go ahead and count it by fourths on our number line to see if we get at the same spot. So let's count 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, which is the same as 1. 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, which is the same as 2. 9/4, 10/4, and 11/4. Same spot. So 2 and 3/4 is the same thing as 11/4. Now let's take a look at the last example. We have 2 and 3/5. So we're going to once again draw 3 shapes. This time we're drawing 3 circles. And now we're going to separate it into 5 sections. Why 5? Because of the denominator of 5. Now we're going to shade the 2 whole circles because of the whole number 2. And now we're going to shade 3 parts of the last circle because of the numerator 3. And now we're going to change it up and write down the fractions so we can easier put it on a number line. So now we're going to start at 2, start counting by fifths. So 1/5, 2/5, and 3/5. So that is where the mixed number 2 and 3/5 lies on a number line. So can we rewrite it as an improper fraction? Yes, we can. 13/5. How do we get that? Well, we can count how many equal parts have been shaded. As you can see now, there are 13 equal parts. So let's see if that equals the same thing on the number line. So now we're going to count by fifths. So 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5, which is the same as 1. Now we go continue. 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5, 10/5, which is the same as 2. 11/5, 12/5, and 13/5. So there we go. Same spot, we did it correctly. So now it is going to be your turn, so draw a model for this mixed number, and let's see if we get the same thing. So go ahead and pause the video so you can take your time to answer this question. And 3, 2, 1. Here are the answers. If you drew it in square instead of a circle, same thing, no big deal. Here it is. If you got it correct, well done. If you didn't, there's always tomorrow.